Hello, Tube Dwellers. Your host, the Mad Bag here. We return to Heart of the Swarm. My god, that win-loss rate is abysmal. We're going to be peeping in on a Terran vs. Zerg today that I played a few days ago. This is going to be my opponent, Mr. Giggles. Very obviously a Terran player, according to his profile. The map shall be Whirlwind LE. Diamond on Diamond, Terran versus Zerg. Spawning in the bottom left, your hometown hero, the Mad Bag. And in the top left, the opponent, Giggles. Freely offering me his manor. Oh, get a hold of this camera now. Can't be letting things go too crazy. Appears my overlord is going to be heading the incorrect direction first. As I've said before, I like to go where the overlord will arrive very quickly to a potential natural. That would be this one. If it came up this way, if he was doing a command center first, I still wouldn't find out very fast. But in this case, that logic is all going to prove unuseful and damaging. At least to my intel. Oh man, I noticed we have some beautiful drone stacking going on all the right mineral patches. A little bit of SCV stacking going up here on the top. Little lack of elsewhere. Supply depot and barracks at the front. So far, steady as she goes, standard as can be. This is a pretty large map, so it looks like I'm going to feel safe to whip my expansion out first and foremost. I feel like I've got pretty well the timing for dealing with a Reaper or two. Assuming that it's not a Proxy Reaper. Proxy Reaper still arrives much earlier than I would like to see one arrive. You're going to see me build... Actually, I'm not sure this game. Sometimes it's one drone, sometimes it's two. Sometimes I'll go all the way back up to 17 here, and it looks like that's going to be this iteration. We're going to go to 17. I have done a greedy version before, gone up to 17, gotten my gas, back up to 17, then the pool. Looks like this time it's going to be the pool. I'm sure I'll probably follow up pretty soon with the gas. Yeah, and you see there it goes. Getting this pool at about this timing makes Reaper openings time out pretty well to allow my Zergling to be out when the Reaper arrives. My first two Zerglings at least. And it looks like that's exactly what he's planning. He's got the gas. The Reaper's on the way. The second one's even queued up. It is going to be a 2 Reaper scout/pressure. Primarily designed to get intel. Sometimes, though, you can pick off a couple drones with it. Kind of nice. He's got an SCV on the low ground. Looks like he's going to be waiting to whip out that command center. Meanwhile, across the map, my mineral's building up to prepare for the double queen. They both sink in as the Reaper crosses the map. But on the production tab, oh, hold on. Hold the phone. We have a lack of Zerglings on this here production tab. That is a dangerous thing. The 4 Zerglings just now started. They did not start when my spawning pool finished. The Reaper's in. The Zerglings were not perfectly timed. He's going to go after a drone. Oh, oof. I'm going to pull the drone away. He was a little bit afraid of stepping into my mineral line. If the Reaper went into my mineral line, I could get a surround on him with workers. As is, especially off creep, Lings with no speed. It is going to be very difficult for them to catch this Reaper. I want to juke and jive all I can, though, even bring the Queen into play to try to get a hit or two. Now that the Reaper stepped out, he's going to have a gay old time, just getting back up to full health. Not much I can do about it. Outside my base, off my creep. The Overlord's found that he's definitely not there and is proceeding to the next location on the map. I haven't necessarily found the Terran yet. This Overlord hung out at my natural until I felt safe enough to send him on, and now he's going to come up here, and eventually he's going to spot the main. And it looks like we've got a reactor follow-up coming. This is a tech lab on the factory. I don't know if this is going to be for a swapperoo. We'll have to keep an eye on that. The Overlord's going to poke in. It looks like he's got a command to come up to a point on the perimeter of the base that should allow me to see something if his base is here. And then I've already got him on a shift queue to back up. And it looks like while I was detailing that, I actually missed the use of Zerglings. I got quite a few out to push these Reapers back. The Reapers are out now. And I did get in just far enough to see a constructing command center. Given its timing, I know that's going to be the third. If it was the natural, it would either be finished in the base and sitting there for no reason, should have already been floated out, or it's got to be the third. So I'm pretty sure that that's the third command center. That tells me that I'm pretty sure that this is not only an expand build, but a very macro-focused build. Common plays that go along with this are going to be double engineering bay. We'll keep an eye out for that. Sure enough, the swap happens. Barracks on a tech lab. Factory on a reactor. It will be for Hellions. My link speed's finished in the meantime. Oh, and Stim. Stim starts very early. That's something to note. And the starport coming right up. Looks like it could be medevac-oriented play. That Overlord's sitting idle. No longer quite as useful, given that he's scouted the wrong base twice in a row. Someone fire that Overlord. The third comes up. Looks like I've got a couple extra queens. I'm sure one will go up there to start injecting very soon. A double Evo play comes out from me. Let's take stock of the economic situation. I've had, even considering this number of, this fairly high number of lings in the early game, I've had plenty of time to drone up to where I want to be. However, the Terran just now finished that third orbital command, so now he's going to be able to produce SCVs 3 at a time. And that's going to allow him to step right into the economic competitive arena and keep up with me. I'm ahead for now. We'll check on that again in a second. See where it goes from there. Terran's putting together a very, very powerful anti-Zergling force. Hellions and Reapers, especially if Reapers can get in the front, can give this force a lot of continuity. I've got a lot of Zerglings, though. If we look at it by army count, I have a little bit more in minerals, but it evens up when he's gas value is considered. He's going to take out a creep tumor, but he's going to let a couple more get away. Oh, maybe not. Surely not. He's going to take those out. Now, I wonder, did he see up far enough? He hasn't technically spotted my third. There were some Zerglings that made a fake up towards that direction. He may be able to guess that my third is there, and it looks like I'm positioning Zerglings to receive this very well. Positioning them to be able to get us around, to be able to come in from behind when he tries to poke up. Oh, and roaches are on the map. The lair is done. Roach speed's beginning. A decent number of roaches. What's my count? Oh, man. 8 roaches. There's a baneling nest behind it. I've got 32 Zerglings. It looks like he has caught up in the worker count, especially with 3 mules. Especially once he gets this base out. Especially, I'm sure he will be in the lead there on the economy. He's going to catch 1 roach. That roach was in a very curious position. He was able to kill it. But I have to assume, that he knows that I have pressure in mind. My roaches and Zerglings are going to catch him with this third, and with this saturation on the third specifically. This pressure isn't meant to be an all-in. Oh, the Zerglings. The Zerglings are needed with this pressure, though, to turn into banelings and for the follow-up. He's going to roast all the Zerglings off. Not only that, he's wasted so much time. My roaches are so slow. I think I just missed that. I'm going to step up a little bit, but oh, man. Things are not the prettiest. He's even going to spot out the position of some of my Zerglings. Surely he knows aggression is on my mind. And he's got Widow Mines in the front, Marauders in the bunker. He's going to dive into my third. He's going to try to get some drone kills while my army is positioned towards the front. It looks like I'm adding some roaches onto this. I still want to do the pressure, but I'm trying to make it a more meaty pressure now. I would still like to see all these Zerglings turn into banelings. A bust might still be possible. It's going to be very dangerous with these Widow Mines. 1 Widow Mine shot can kill a clump of banelings. That 40 splash damage of the Sentinel missile can one-shot all in an AoE. I don't know, roughly that size. About the same size as a siege tank blast. I'm going to check to see if his third's already down. It's not. That would be an easy lift that I could force if it was. And I don't exactly know what he's dealing with here. I haven't been up into his natural yet. I'm assuming that he has a wall, and so I'm getting the banelings. My god. 6 Widow Mines. That is plenty. You can barely see the little spot on the ground. I'm not sure how aware of it I am. There are some reinforcing Zerglings coming in from behind. Right before this starts, let's take stock of things. Oh, he's going to step out. He's got Stim and a medevac. This is beautiful for him. Oh, the Widow Mines are getting pretty good hits. And not the best on the banelings. The banelings aren't going to bust. Right now our worker counts are really even, which honestly favors him. I'm going to take out a good bit of army. Can I get into the mineral line? It looks like there's a couple damaged SCVs. I'm already running really low on roaches, though. The army count shows that he has a gigantic lead. And I'm going to get very few kills done. Oh, man. 2 workers killed in that pressure. Not ideal. His delay was perfect. Running my roaches, my lings around outside the base. Beautiful play by him. Exactly what he needed to delay the push until he could have a perfect defense. The stim, the medevacs, especially the widow mines, they soften the roaches up so much. The maneuver to move out of his base with the stim and the medevac, that was pretty good too, because he hit my force before I had it all ready to put the push together. So what is my follow-up? We see that my drone count is decently ahead of his, 60 to 50. Ooh, an infestation pit is down, and during locusts are being researched. It looks like I'm going to have to rely on zerglings and banelings for this push, though. That could be a problem, because I've been upgrading ranged damage as opposed to melee damage. He's going to step in with a good-sized force. I don't have baneling speed. They are just wobbling. I'm going to engage just a little bit. I'm trying to convince him not to push, trying to buy myself time. I've got zerglings on the way. I've got swarm hosts on the way. Swarm hosts especially effective against those widow mines. Decently effective against the bio, but not if the swarm hosts are caught alone. I have a feeling we may see an example of some of that. He's going to move the widow mines up. I like this move. Things are kind of dangerous. I'm building banelings. God, it's so close. Overall, his army count's a lot higher than mine, but the way Terran production works, some of that army count is not at the front. As a matter of fact, a huge chunk of it is way back here. It looks like I'm going to be able to hold this off. We've got a lot of widow mines on cooldown, and we now have swarm hosts burrowed at the 3rd. This could be a very risky expansion, as it is right outside of his chosen 3rd. But with swarm hosts, I've got a fairly meaty defense, with the potential for a lot of good cost-effective trades. Oh, and I'm going to take out the widow mines right before they recharge. Looks like he wants to get a couple more in play, and it looks like he wants to do more of a push. These locusts should make him think twice about it. At least twice about keeping the widow mines burrowed, lest he waste their cooldown. Meanwhile, we have a drop coming around the outside. 3 marauders. That looks like it's destined for a building snipe. Locust chilling at the front. Positioned very defensively. Seeing this ring on my minimap, I should be able to tell that there's a sensor tower here, and I should know that there's a 3rd. I should go ahead and rally them in the way that they'll constantly put pressure on that 3rd. It looks like I'm not thinking about that, though. Oh, and here come the marauders. Right for the infestation pit, but I've got some forces in base. Zerglings and banelings. The Zerglings alone can deal very well with the marauders. Widow mines coming to my front. I've got some creep spread starting here. It's not amazing, though. Widow mines are going to try to shut that down. Widow mines can't hit creep tumors, though, so I can go ahead and spread creep right around these widow mines. They could get some awesome pushes done, or some awesome damage done, rather, on any push that I try to throw out the front. Zerglings especially, if they try to run by out that avenue, could be very damaging. This scan, this is a really good scan. I should move these back. Oh, I'm taking swarm host hits. This is not good. I'm losing swarm hosts. I'm trying to transfuse them. The transfuses are actually working decently, but I'm losing queens too. Some zerglings are coming in the mix. He's got to use another scan, but it is successful. He's taking out more swarm hosts. Oh, but the split, it wasn't in time. Banelings connect. I don't know. Yeah, he's going to be able to take out even more. God, the infantry, it's so small numbers, but he's got just enough. That was devastating for me. We can see that I am definitely trailing in the resources lost. Great engagement from him, using just the bio, getting up while other forces were out of position. 2 factories. It looks like so far this has been mostly just construction of add-ons, but he's got something else in mind for those factories. He's still got decent widow mine counts coming out. The worker counts, I would say, are really even with 3 command centers. His mules, let's check the income tab. Looks very similar. My gas income's a little bit heavier. My resource income's, my mineral income, rather, is a little heavier as well. Terrans don't need the gas so much, though. He actually has a supply lead on me, which is interesting. Our army counts, our army value, is very similar. It looks like he's going to try to step up here and take another crack at these swarm hosts. I've got some banelings in position, though. Banelings and locusts. Oh, God, no! Swarm hosts rallying to their death. Oh, the control. Still not perfect on it. Beautiful baneling connections. Oh, man. And he is punished heavily. He doesn't take any swarm hosts out except for the ones that I freely grant him. And now they're going to be able to fend that off. I'm establishing a fourth. I've even got a little bit of saturation going there to make up for the saturation I'm losing in my main. Maintaining a 3 base income once I get there. Always good to see. Locusts continuing their rally. I'm surprised he burrowed his Widow Mines there. Might look at that as a couple wasted cooldowns. I actually love seeing cooldowns from Widow Mines go off on Locusts because the Locusts come back faster. Continually getting a little bit of damage done here. Looks like I could be spending my money a little bit better though. Oh man. 3-3, Adrenal Glands for the Zerglings and an Ultralisk Cavern. He has 3-3 going as well. Our upgrades are almost identically timed. I'm using free units to take out costly units though, so I kind of like how this is looking. Things are going nice. Oh man, I have not seen this yet. These are siege tanks. Siege tanks are pretty good against locusts, against swarm hosts. More command centers coming up. He's also establishing a fourth. I'm really surprised to see this aggressive movement out of the Widow Mines specifically. You really can't do that against swarm hosts. It's not very effective. Oh man, it's all Marines. The Banelings want it so bad. It looks like I even poached up there with an Overseer to see the Widow Mines. Oh, and I'm even going to bring the Locusts back. I love all of that. Still, though, his food supply is staying higher. Our army counts are staying very similar. Interesting to see the way this little back and forth is going with my Locusts proving to be an ample defense in close quarters. I'm watching that production tab. I see a lot more Marauders out here than I've seen in the last couple engagements. Me as a spectator, that is. Me as a player, I'm not totally sure that I'm expecting this this Marauder content. Especially seeing 4 Ultralisks in the cooker. Chitinous plating's almost done. 3-3's getting ever closer. I am also trying to get pathogen glands so that I can field some infestors. My god! I think we just blew that up with Banelings. The rocks, that is. He still has some tanks left, though. The Banelings didn't connect with the bio, which is where they needed to be. Now the bio can be super effective against the swarm host. The swarm host count is not huge. I've been using a static number of them just to hold on, just to maintain against this bio. But now, oh, he's pushing up. He's taking all the swarm hosts out. An Ultra spawns, but he's basically in my production line. He's at the 3rd so that he gets my production bit by bit. Not all at once. I've got Ultralisks. I need more Banelings. I'm producing the Banelings. There's a huge bio ball here, though. And let's see whose 3-3 finishes first. It looks like it's actually going to be mine, but it's 3 ranged. It's not 3 melee. I only have 1 melee still. And I'm not really using the ranged because my swarm hosts have been taken out. Oh, we're getting close here. These siege tanks are doing critical damage, though. Oh, no, the Banelings. If the Banelings could connect. Oh, they do connect. Wow. That looks like I'm actually going to push this out. Oh, man. But that was with all of my production. We can see it in the food count. He is staying in my face. I don't have nearly enough swarm hosts to be cost-effective against this. My forces all together. I'm not building more Banelings. Ultras are coming, but god, they take so long to build. I don't think this looks great. Oh, this push. The Zerglings are melting off the front end of it. I don't have the damage. The Banelings are coming in now, but oh, there's just too few, and there's no other support to go with them. He's got Widow Mines, a good place. There are siege tanks involved, even a Hellbat up front to help his cost effect against things like Zerglings and Locusts. He's got a good Marauder count to deal with the Ultras. His force is perfectly composed. My 3rd is doomed to fall. It looks like I've got a little bit of a runaround. Some Zerglings at least didn't do very much to his worker count still, and the GG comes out. I know I can't deal with this push, and I'm failing to get damage done elsewhere. A planetary. Very well placed by him. Had the backup 3rd up still. Had decent saturation. Actually, that's a lie. Had bad saturation, given that my natural had run out. I needed to get some of these drones. I had 63. Where in the hell are my 63 drones? Are they like all right here? No. I actually am not sure where most of them are. Is there a mineral patch somewhere around here that's just got a crap ton of drones on it? I don't understand it. No. Huh. Am I transferring? Ah, here. Yes, I was trying to transfer. Okay. That needed to happen a lot earlier. These bases needed some of this saturation. And honestly, those are dangerous bases. That's a fingers crossed, hope he doesn't see it kind of base. Regardless of the result, I like to see what Swarm hosts were capable of in the mid-game there. Against the Terran player, they gave him a lot of trouble. And even better, the way they made him sprint in with his infantry. I think that's an abusable tactic. If he's going bio and I have Swarm hosts, he has to do that to fight the Swarm hosts. And I think if I know and expect that that's going to happen, I can abuse the hell out of it. Workers active. According to this graph, I was ahead in the economic game. According to the actual resources collected, though, he definitely had spurts where landing command centers and getting mule dumps took his army value to infinity and beyond. Big old spike there at the end as he really started to put together the right composition. His food count was staying above me through a lot of this, but it was that composition that made his cost-effect engagements just really work out and really make him win out. That's going to be it for this video, folks. Thanks for watching. See you later.